Make hay while the sun shines. That adage does not apply to those who missed the deadline for the linkage of the National Identification Number to Subscriber Identification Model, who will share their experiences. High expectations for coming of the rains as farmers in Jigawa State set for a productive season. Plus, increased enrollment in Abia State primary schools with the success story of the homegrown school feeding program. It is my pleasure to welcome you on this edition of The Correspondence. It promises to be interesting and educative. I am Tessie Umeri. Many thanks for joining us. Let's begin with the update on NIN-SIM policy enforcement. The inability to link the National Identification Number to Subscriber Identification Model has become the regret of those who could not meet the deadline. To them, the frustration of not making a call can be better imagined. These defaulters are now scampering to update their SIMs and regain connection, but not without some challenges, as correspondent Chidimna Ndubisi gives us an update.
The days of grace are over and the federal government's NIN-SIM policy is now in full force. Part of that policy is that those who failed to link their national identification numbers to their subscriber identification module cards are to be barred from making calls but can receive incoming calls. This is the situation at one of the NIN enrollment centers, as some whose lines have been buried rush to do the needful.
I've registered NIN before, and I lost my SIM for the past 3 weeks now. They said I have to recapture again. I recapture, they gave me this, and I become here every day. Since morning, see where we line up.
I'm the first of those people registered earlier. Yesterday, MTN barred one of my numbers. I came around, they said there's no network. Something you are supposed to do for 10 minutes, it will take you 10 hours, 10 days, 10 months.
I'm here to come and revalidate my card, so I to link with my SIM numbers. But I've written in the list that they brought out a plain sheet. They have been written, and they said they are taking to the office. How are we going to know that it has been revalidated?
Unfortunately, I lost my ATM card and I went for welcome back, and they told me that my NIN is not validated. So I have been coming here for the past 3 days. Nothing. This is just 4 o'clock now. They have closed, and we have years. They've closed before 4 o'clock. The way they are going about it, these things, I don't know. We have enough staff there, but their response time is very, very, very slow.
Some of my kids are yet to be registered. Even those that are registered, there were a lot of mistakes on their names. And that mistake that they did on their name is causing a lot of problem. Before you should change that name, you spend a lot of money.
62-year-old Daniel Dike, in his condition, wasn't also successful. He says he has been visiting the center weeks before the deadline elapsed. Officials of the National Identity Management Commission Zone 3 Enrollment Center refused to speak with or grant us access to the capturing area to ascertain the true situation. But the agency's Director General has this to say.
There are two ways of submitting your NIN for the SIM linkage. Either you submit it to the telecommunication provider or you use the mobile app and then and submit your SIM you are allowed to submit up to 7 SIM on the mobile app at a go.
Whether these issues will be resolved, which will lead to the ease of linking more NINs to SIMs in the coming days, is a question begging for answer, as some are already lamenting the impact of the policy implementation on their businesses and other person engagements.
It's important for every citizen to be properly numbered, and that gives us a means of identification, and it also gives us the ease of doing business.
For children now, without NIN registration, they can't take their jam. So many things they require, even NYSC.
Great achievement. Because of fraudsters using our line, they have to handle the line themselves. That is why they have to link it with the NIN. So in that reason, it's very, very good for them to assist us, link it. But the process is too much for us. On linking the line is too much for us.
NIN enrollment is now a precondition for accessing banks, Immigration and Telecommunication Services.
And joining us to discuss further on the issue of NIN-SIM linkage is NTA's ICT correspondent, Chimdima Ndubisi. Hello, Chimdima. Welcome to the correspondence.
Thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you this beautiful moment. Talking about NIN-SIM linkage and the issues surrounding it, we understand that 119 millions are yet to be linked. What do you have to say about that?
Well, going by statistics from the Nigerian Communications Commission, about 300 million SIM cards are connected to phones, but only a little bit above 197 million are active. Then the National Identity Management Commission issued a statement on the 4th of April based on the enforcement of the NIN-SIM policy. And in that statement, it was noted that about 127 SIMs have been submitted for linkage.
127
million have been submitted for linkage. So going by that, when you do that, the maths, do the calculation, you now know the number of people that are
yet to be linked, and they are barred from making calls.
Are barred or automatically from making calls.
Wow. And you visited some of the registration centers, and after the restriction, tell us the languages of the defaulters. How are they faring? I can just imagine.
Actually, when I went round to feel the pulse of the people, it was that of agitation, frustration, and so many other issues, because some of them, their lines were barred and they couldn't make calls. Some told me that they were expected to link up with customers, businesses, so many other forms of communications, so they couldn't do that, so they were frustrated. But when they got to the place, because the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, said the enrollment is a continuous process. So anybody that the line is barred can just go to any NIN-SIM registration center and just get the SIM card linked, and automatically the bar will be lifted.
Okay, so but for as long as you don't get it linked,
there's nothing like making calls. So there were some cases of people that were registered before time, linked their SIMs, but they lost their phones, like they told me. Some 3 weeks before the NIN-SIM policy was implemented, they were going to from their service providers back to NIN enrollment centers to get their names to get their SIM cards to be linked. So they were saying that they have been linked, their lines have been linked already, but the service providers said they find out that the data is lost. So they are now frustrated. They don't know what the problem is, and in the process of trying to link it, 2 weeks before the 4th of April, they couldn't make it. So those were the ones that were very agitated. Even I interviewed somebody that told me that he came all the way from Nasarawa State to link his SIM.
You can imagine the desperation.
So it's been that of so many emotions, and they were, some of them that were at the center said there was issue of no internet, that they were somewhere there in the morning, but they were saying that the NIN-SIM officials told them that there was no internet. So by afternoon, that when we went to some of the places, they were yet to be attended to. That's one of the another issue.
Okay, with all this stress, with all this trauma, I could put it like, because if you can imagine the kind of customer somebody will miss as a result of not getting his calls through and all that, Nigerians are asking, what is the benefit of this policy? They're asking, what is the benefits to the country?
The benefits are enormous. The security experts will tell you that it is best for the country to have this, because with this, security operatives can track any crime, any criminal could be tracked when SIMs are linked to NINs. Then, secondly, every other country, most countries have database of their citizens. It helps in planning and other logistics. So these are some of the benefits.
Yeah, I can remember there's this issue of mistaken identity. Somebody committed a crime and then another person was taken as a result of probably the SIM card. So I'm sure this will address such kind of issues when you know this is my own SIM card registered under me. Nobody will actually use it for crime and then you'll be implicated for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chidima. I hope we can actually go on, especially to those people that are waiting for rush hour. What do you think is their fate and how long will they take to get their SIM cards, replaced?
If you download NIN-SIM mobile app, then within minutes, SIMs can be linked to NINs. Within minutes. It doesn't take time. You just download the app and follow the prompt. You follow that, the limbs will be connected. But for those, it's that easy. The problem is for those that don't have NIN. That don't have national identification number. That's the problem. They have to go through that process. As long as you have your NIN number, all you need to do is to download the app, the NIN-SIM app, and then link.
Okay, Chimdima, thank you so much for enlightening us this beautiful moment on this issue that is bringing so many troubles to so many people. Hope to see you some other time on the program to discuss other interesting topics.